In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my beginner's guide to the Greek island of Kos. So go look for your best toga, tie up your sandals, and let's go explore Greece. So where exactly is Kos? Well, it's right in the Aegean Sea, part of the Dodecanese group of islands, which includes Rhodes, Symi, and Patmos. The north part, the top little bit, is only about 2.5 miles from Bodrum on the Turkish coast. It's also known as the cycling island, but more about that later. And did you know that Hippocrates was born there? He's the guy known as the father of medicine. So, when are the best times to go? Well, I guess that really depends on you. If you're looking for the hottest and the busiest, then July and August are going to be definitely for you. However, temperatures do get extremely high. On average, high 30s and even low 40s. So just remember, walking around, it's going to get pretty uncomfortable in that sun and the heat. Also, as it's peak season, it's going to be a little bit costlier. Now, if, like me, you prefer less crowded, then I definitely recommend May or June or September and even October. That's usually when I go, and it's still pretty hot, averaging mid to high 20s and even low 30s. Now, what about the best areas to stay? Which are the best? Which are the most popular ones? Let's begin with my favourite, which is Kos Town. It's where everything comes together. You've got your tourist-friendly package, and it still manages to keep that peaceful and, I guess, relaxing vibe. Just a stone's throw away, okay, about half a mile away, is Lambi Beach, or Lampi, depending on who you ask. It's, well, imagine a 1 mile stretch of sand. Fine sand. You've got bars, cafes, restaurants, shopping, all at your fingertips. That's Lambi. For families, it's got to be Tagaki. Shallow waters, calm seas, loads of kid-friendly activities, and there's even lifeguards, especially during peak season. If you like the quiet, Marmara is definitely for you. It's about a 20-minute drive from Tagaki. If you're into surfing, obviously I'm not, you'll want to stay at Mastachiari. Likewise, if the whole water sports thing is for you, then definitely consider Saldi. If you're going to watch your pennies, guess we all do at times, I suggest Kephalos, which was once the capital of Kos. And then if the nightlife is for you, then get yourself over to Kardamina. It's also got one of the best beaches on the island, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. For those looking again for a bit more relaxing time, then I would suggest you go to Agios Fokas. It's where you should head for. Got to be careful pronouncing that final word. And lastly, for something even more quiet, really quiet, I recommend two villages. First of all is Asfendio, and then the second one is Lagudi Zia. Zia is where the best sunsets are. Now, what about getting to and from the airport and back again to your hotel? If you're not having that obligatory coach transfer, then there's definitely other options. The best one that I recommend is once you get straight out the airport, there's a taxi rank outside, get yourself one of those. But you need to be careful because taxis, they're not a fixed price. All of them are metered, and unless you're going to book in advance, which I'll come to in a second, the price you'll pay will vary. So for Kos Town, it's going to be about 37 to 45 euro. Tagaki, 27 to 30 euro. Marmara, 24 to 27. Mastachiari, 15 to 23. Kephalos, 25 to 33. And Kardamina, 15 to 25. In terms of tipping, there's absolutely no law which says you have to, so it's entirely up to you. Now, if you book a taxi before you fly, I definitely recommend it because it's going to be a fixed price. One that I use each time I go to Kos is eTransfer Kos 24/7. Ask for Vangelis and tell him Ian from Go Explore Greece says hi. He can also take you to other areas, all the ones I've mentioned before, and he can even take you on private tours of the island. If you want more choice of taxis, I definitely recommend another one, and I use these every time I go to Greece. So it's the whole of Greece they covered, and that's welcome pickups. All links to these and everything else are, as they say, in the description. Okay, now what about all the exciting things to do and see there? There's loads of them. You've got day trips, half day, full days, cruises, boat tours, food and drink, there's tasting, there's nature tours, adventure, history, archaeological, family friendly activities for the kids, and loads more. So let me explain a few of the best. First off, I want to start with free things. Now, who doesn't like something that's free? And one of the best that I can think of is a walk around the harbour. Day or night, there really is so much to see. You've got all the excursion boats, which I'll come to in a second. You've got fishermen coming in, landing all of their catch. You can people watch. There's loads of different things. In fact, I've got a couple of great videos in the description below to show you exactly what I mean, including walk-ons on some of the best and most popular excursion boats. And oh, there's even a live walk and tour I did very recently, all the way round the harbour, where I also again get to walk on some of the boats. Now, beaches are another free place to go, and you're lucky because some of the best in Greece are actually on the island, and I'll come to those in a second. There's even some archaeological sites which are free, including the ancient Agora. It's a 2.5-year-old, sorry, no, not the 2,500-year-old marketplace and shopping centre. That's free. Remember the guy I mentioned earlier, Hippocrates, chap who was born on the island, father of medicine? What about the exact spot where he used to sit and teach? That's the famous tree of Hippocrates. It's just on the harbour, on the right-hand side as you look out. It's not the original one, but still the one that's there is over 500 years old. And lastly, how about a forest? The Plaka Forest and Wildlife Park. Obviously known for its quiet and wildlife, there's also peacocks there as well. Now, what about excursions and boat trips? All those things and cruises that I mentioned before. When it comes to cars, you really are spoilt for choice. So let's begin with the most popular. You're going to hear this quite a bit. It's the 3-island day cruise. 3 islands, Serimos, Kalymnos and Plati. They all usually leave around 10 in the morning and then get back around about 5. It really is a fun day. It's packed with swimming. Obviously to the 3 islands, you can stop there. Many even provide lunch, so I definitely recommend that. How about a trip to one of the most picturesque and beautiful islands in Greece, followed by, get this, a walk in an actual live volcano? That's the Greek island of Nisyros for you. Briefly, you get picked up, you get taken to Kardamina, you got a quick 1-hour boat journey, and then that'll take you to the island. You'll get a chance to walk around that picture-perfect town I mentioned, Mandraki, and then you actually go up all the way into the volcano and have some time to spare. If you want to see what it's like, I've got a really great video I made when I was there. Link is right in the description, and it does give you a really good idea of what it's like. For the foodies and drinkies out there, it's also me as well, there are so many choices of trips and excursions. There's wineries, dinner experiences, many with dancing, unlimited wine, the sunsets. How about a safari with dinner at sunset? Or cooking classes? What about olive oil and honey tasting? And the list really goes on. Links are, as they say, in the description. If you're into history, archaeology, and museums, Kos again has got you covered. Beside obviously the various museums on the island, and there's some really good ones. How about a half day or a full day coach tour which takes you around the island to all the most popular sites? Some ways you'll get to be Indiana Jones for the day and see the best of the ancient sites it offers. There's also private tours with a professional guide. One of the most popular things to go and see on the island is the Asclepion. That's an ancient healing temple dedicated to the god Asclepius. It's also got some really, really amazing views of the island. And finally, there's Naratsia Castle, also known as the Castle of the Knights. That's on the right-hand edge of the harbour as you're looking out to sea. For the more adventurous of you out there, I'm sure there's one or two. How about horse riding on a beach? One of the best beaches in Kos, or beginner scuba diving. What about a fun day's jeep safari with lunch thrown in? And there's hiking. Yeah, Kos has some of the best hiking routes in Greece. Trails to suit every ability, including one at the highest point on the island, Mount Dekios. And the views from the top, trust me, are absolutely breathtaking. Now, one of the most common questions I get asked about Greece is, where should we stay? Where are the best hotels? Where's the best accommodation? Now, if I was to do that in this video just for Kos, even for just the 8 or so areas I've mentioned, it's going to take a heck of a long time than this video would allow. If you want to see a separate video on that, just let me know in the comments. But all's not lost. I've put links to most of the best places in the description, so you can check them out in your own time. So I definitely recommend you look at that. Otherwise, if you've got any comments, stick them there and I'll come back to you as soon as I can. Now let's talk beaches, eh? Who doesn't love a really good beach? And Kos has got some of the best in all of Greece. Now, let's kick off with one of the most Instagrammable ones, which is Aegean Beach. As I said, it's one of the most Instagrammable beaches in Kos, perhaps even in Greece. It's even got a really small island just a few hundred meters off the edge of it, so you can actually swim to it. Not many beaches have that. Then there's Marmari Beach. There's round about 2.5 miles of white sanded heaven. Really is white sand. Caters for all tastes. There's horseback riding, there's kite and windsurfing. You can hire the equipment there and it is actually quite cheap. As I said, it's kid friendly, lots of things for kids and I guess even for adults who want to be kids again. Oh, it's also a great sunset spot, it really is. On the northern side, I definitely recommend you go and check out Tagaki Beach. It's got amazing sprawling crystal clear waters, blue flag certified, and it's shallow, obviously ideal for kids. It's also one of the most popular beaches in Kos, but don't let that put you off. You'd barely know it even when you're getting into peak season. Because it's so long, about 3 kilometers, its size really prevents it from looking too busy. It's also a favorite for wind and kite surfing. If you want a beach closer to town or closer to Kos town, then go out, try Lampi Beach. Everything you need for a fun day really is out there at Lampi Beach. Obviously sand, shallow water in most places. There's beach bars, water sports and more. There's plenty of places for food and drink options all around you, all along the beach. It's also a great sunset spot. And it's actually part of the cycling route on the island. And I'll come to that later. You can even hire them in the town and you can even bike it to Lampi Beach and back again. I said more about bike and car hire a little later. There's another get to by bike beach, that's Agios Fokas. That's that word, got to be careful saying. It's just outside Kos town, so not far if you're actually in the town itself. The sand begins from Saldi Beach, I'll come to that in a second, and continues to there. A little bit different because it's a mix of pebbles and sand, so not everyone's cup of tea. I said slightly different. Now, if you're looking for a beach, say, with more action, if you could call it that, then get yourself over to Saldi Beach. There's a lot of wind and kite surfing. The conditions there are often perfect. Sometimes the wind can put some bathers off. You can hire all the equipment there as well to do what you want there. There's a diving center, so you can go scuba diving, all with instructors, or just chill on a sunbed. Now, talking of sunbeds, quite often you'll find there's a charge to use most of them. In fact, that happens in Greece as a general. But in Kos, it ranges from a few euros to a lot more. So definitely recommend you check first. Good news is though, often if you have a drink or eat at the place that's renting them, then you can get to use them for free. Next beach, Paradise Beach. Now, I suppose just let its name do the talking. It's not an exaggeration. Paradise Beach really is. It's a dreamy stretch of golden sand. The waters there are greenish blue, shallow, obviously suitable for all age groups because it's shallow, especially families. Again, there's quite a few water sports. There's kayaking, parasailing, water skis, wakeboard, some really good and fast jet skis there. I've been on one or two myself. It's also got some great seafood tavernas. If you like the wild and rugged, I suppose, then head to Cavo Paradiso. It's quite a long expanse of sand and green-blue water. It's sort of considered somewhat of a secret, as getting there requires a walk from the main road, unless you've got a very suitable 4x4. There's a tall, rocky landscape that will provide quite a few actually photos. A lot of Instagram photos are actually taken there. But because it's sort of isolated, make sure you bring what you need. There's very, very few amenities there. How about something different? How about a natural hot thermal spring, which then leads into sort of a quite dark volcanic sandy pebbly beach? That's Therma Beach for you. It's definitely one of the most unusual beaches in Kos. It's also the healthiest. Springs are said to help with arthritis and rheumatism. And last, and I guess by no means least, as they say, there's one of the best beaches in Kos. That's Cardamina Beach. It's got every amenity you can imagine, and I guess a few you can't. It caters to everyone. Solos, couples, romantics, families, friendlies, everyone and their dog. There's beach bars, water sports, loads and loads of great eating spots that cover all tastes right on the beach. Now, as I promised, what about great places to eat and drink on the island? There's so many, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my choice of the best, the ones that I've been to time and again. And links to all of them, where they're located, are in the description. First on the list I want to talk about is Voros. And it's so good, I'm going to be putting out a video review of this place very soon. It's a really great place, and it's very rare I do a video review. In my opinion and locals, it's one of the best places for breakfast, desserts, lunches, and so on in all of Kos. And if you want to know why, go and check out that video in the description. Seafood. If you like seafood, then you're going to love the Fish House Taverna, right on the harbour, overlooking the ocean there. Every fish you can think of, and as they say, others that you can't. They also do really beautiful meat dishes, including one of the best stifado, that's Greek for stew, I've ever had. And it's also the same place that's got some famous steps. If you don't know about them, check it out. At the bottom, people just love having their Instagram photo there for whatever reason, but it does look nice. The next two on my list are perhaps my favourite places to eat. First is the Select Restaurant and Cafe. Why? Because virtually everything you're going to want to eat there is home cooked. It's also got, in my opinion, the best tasting hummus that I've ever had. And I've had my favorite. Second is Mom's Kitchen. It's just past there. It's a very small family run place. And again, everything is also home cooked. Now, if you fancy going to the Old Town, then I definitely recommend the Moor Cafe Bar. Great location, awesome cocktails, really low prices, great food. It's also got lovely ambience and very helpful staff. Also in the area, go and try out Del Mar Cafe. It's a very cozy place, relaxing music, traditional Greek food, all of which is very tasty. Definitely recommend. Now, crepe, or crepes, depending on how you call it, is really a big thing on Kos. And if you're looking for some of the best, then I would suggest you go to, it's the place with the longest name. The Creper and You, the healthy mini restaurant, brunch and gluten-free. I think I've got that right. Every topping you can imagine, and so many more. I keep saying this that you can't. Links to all of those that I mentioned are in the description. Gives you the exact location of where they are. Now then, what about what to do when the sun goes down in Kos? What's the nightlife like? Well, there's a lot, and we're going to go through the ones that I definitely recommend and also the locals. So we're going to kick off with the Omega Sky Bar. It's a great cocktail bar, good prices with great views of the town. Opens at 6 p.m, closes at 3 a.m. for you night owls. What else is there to say? Another one of my favorites is the Milos Beach Bar. As its name suggests, it's on the beach, and it's on the north end of Lambie Beach to be exact. It's open till around about 3, 4 a.m, depending on the day, and it's one of the most popular bars in Kos. Now, if you're feeling sophisticated or upmarket, then I suggest you head to the Portico 1943 Restaurant Wine Bar. Closes at midnight, but it can get rather busy, and it's a great place to drink many types of drink, including quite posh ones. Another great one is the Sitar Cocktail Bar. It's picturesque, great atmosphere, and great drinks. Really good music. Doesn't open until 7 in the evening, and again it closes round about 4 a.m. There's another on Lambie Beach, another great place to go. That's Matatu'u. It's very cool. It's a hipster bar, and if that's for you, then I definitely recommend it. Doesn't usually open though until around about 10 p.m. Now, I mentioned earlier about hiring bike or car. What's it like in Kos? Is it easy? Is it pretty cheap? Yes to both. Let's begin with bikes. And when I say bikes, I don't mean motorbikes. I mean the ones with pedals. You will see them. Trust me, you will see them all over Kos town, being used all over there. And as I said earlier, Kos is known as the cycling island. There's around 8 miles of dedicated safe track all the way around the harbour and beyond, even going into Lambie Beach. I said you could cycle there. There are so many places to hire them. In fact, you'll just see them as you're walking around. So there's no point in giving you specific ones because they essentially charge the same amount. And you're looking at as little as a few or even €5 per day. And quite a few now actually have electrical assistance, so that's a great help. One tip, go in the morning or last thing in the evening because it's cooler. Now again, for cars, there are so many places to rent them. From places at the airport with your usual and familiar names and also not familiar. Prices obviously vary depending on the size of the car, your age, your license, how long you've been driving, and how long you want to drive it for, and even where you want to drop it off. But for a guide, I would say you can pick up a small one, 7 days, no points on your license, for about €20 per day. Far cheaper than back here in the UK. If you're new to driving in Greece, I would definitely recommend you look at getting an automatic. Hardly that much more money, and it's one less thing to worry about when you're driving. Just remember, they drive on the right. Well, there you have it. That's my beginner's guide to you to the Greek island of Kos. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. I really genuinely hope you found it useful. You picked out some tips on that. Don't forget to check out my other videos on the island and indeed throughout Greece. And obviously, if you want to see the latest ones, just subscribe and click on that reminder bell. Thanks again. I really appreciate your time. And don't forget, go explore Greece.